Hey guys, welcome back to the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast. Estelle here. How are you doing? Happy midweek. By the time you're listening to this is a Thursday episode, so I know that you're getting to the end of the week. How was your week? How are we doing? I just want to encourage you guys today a little bit about being a singer, being an artist, being a performer, being a creative, and feeling called to this and what it looks like and how to know if you are called and about this idea of being sure, which is something that I've been really thinking about. Honestly, I've had to really, be very gentle with myself recently and just really turn up and journal and pray and try to give myself grace because I have been coming up against, not against, but I've had some decisions to make in regards to different opportunities and teaching and different places and that I'm working with and stuff like that. And I just love people so much and love so many people so much. And it's hard to, it's hard for me anyway to make decisions that might, that will just shake things up. That will shake things up in regards to my career, or in regards to where I'm teaching or who I'm engaging with and how I'm being an artist and stuff. And so I've been making some of those decisions. And, I think about this idea of being called to be an artist and being a performer and how so often we want to know for sure, which is how I have felt in regards to decisions that I've been making around where I'm teaching and what I'm doing as an artist and what do I need to make time for and what do I need to, cut back on and stuff like that so that I can have bandwidth and time and space for the things that I love and the things that I truly am called for. And it's so easy to give into this desire to be absolutely certain and absolutely sure. And maybe you're feeling that way around, oh, should I start auditioning for plays in my local area? Oh, should I start singing at an open mic night? Oh, should I start taking voice lessons? Oh, should I start, posting videos of myself dancing online because I want to be a dancer deep down. Like, you keep waiting for a sign to be sure. You keep waiting to be absolutely certain that you're called to be this artist, that you're called to be this performer, that you're called to do this thing, to make this decision in this way. And there's just no sure, there's no quote unquote sure, I believe. I believe that's where faith comes in. And that is where trusting that God has given you this desire and this gift for a reason, and, taking it to Him, praying, journaling, spending time with Him is something that I have found to be central to these decisions that I make as an artist. And I just want to encourage you that you will have to be okay with that not knowing, with not having everything perfectly planned, right? You don't know if you're going to get that audition, if you're going to book the role when you go, but it doesn't mean that it's not worth trying. You don't know that you're going to become the best singer in the world, but it doesn't mean that it's not worth trying to sing. And so when it comes to this idea of, am I called to be a singer? Am I called to be an artist? Am I called to be a performer, a creative in this way? I want us to really be able to let go of that needing to be certain. And instead, first of all, it kind of depends on how you define the term being called. To me, I believe it to be a spiritual thing. I believe it to be um the idea of someone calling you and asking you to do something. It's something that has been placed in you, this desire that's been placed in you. And it's part of who you've been called to be. It's part of who you are meant to be on this earth. So this could be in your work, this could be in your career, this could be in your home, in ministry, it can be in your family, just your personality as a person. You're called to be joyful, or you're called to be someone who is very intentional, whatever. So it depends on how you define it, but that's my perspective. And when I think about singing and this desire to be performing and to be creating through music and storytelling through song, and if you have that desire, but you're still not sure, and therefore you're not taking steps, you're not moving forward because you don't know if, oh, is this really what I'm called to do? Or I'm not really sure if this is what I'm meant to do, then I really challenge you to, once you've kind of decided on how you define the term call or calling, I really encourage you and challenge you to let go of that need to be sure, to be certain, and instead be willing to have faith, be willing to explore, and be open to what may come. And that's where just taking small steps of action, like I talk about all the time, even though for some reason I just could not say it properly just now. Small steps of action. Say that 5 times fast. My gosh. Say that 5 times fast. 5 steps or small steps of action. Small steps of action, right? Taking small action steps, let's put it that way, is something that I emphasize a lot on this podcast because that's what has helped me and that's what I know will allow us to move forward because otherwise we're going to be kind of blowing things up in our mind and it's just it's too big, it's too dramatic, it's too huge. Like this idea that like I want to be on Broadway, I want to be performing, I want to do this. But then like, is this something I'm called to do? Like, is this my calling? Okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna sit it out until I know for sure. You see, that's when you're doing that and you're thinking along those lines, you're making this idea so big that it's hard to move forward. So instead, I challenge you to let go of the need to be sure and instead be willing to take small action steps, trying in small ways. What will you try first? What will you try first? Will you try just journaling about it? Journaling about this desire to be an artist, a performer, a singer? Will you start with just reflecting on it? And then when you take action, a small action step, um, to explore your voice a little bit, to explore singing, performing, acting, theater, right? Will you take a small action step forward? Because otherwise, you'll just keep waiting. You'll keep waiting to be sure. You'll keep waiting to be certain. And that certainty will not come. Or if it does come, it'll come so late. And then you're going to feel like, oh man, I really should have started earlier and just like kind of followed what opportunities came along, and then I would have known, you know, in the midst of doing the thing. And so I just want you to think about like taking small steps of action. That's the way that you actually kind of discover as you go along the way whether it really is a calling. And then if it's something else, you'll discover that as you are in momentum, as you are taking action steps, as you are moving forward. And so, yeah, I've been thinking about this in regards to just my own work as a voice teacher, music teacher, and performing artist myself, and how I want to kind of create my schedule moving forward. And I really was not sure. Like, I'm still not completely sure, but I just had to move forward and in small ways. And there are some things that I wish I had moved forward on faster, and that way so that I would kind of be able to just like have had that momentum. And so I just want to let you guys know, like, don't, if you want to sing, if you want to be a singer, you want to be an actor, don't keep waiting to like for some door to open on its own or for you to certainly like magically be certain all of a sudden. Don't keep waiting. Just, take a moment, journal, pray, and like build that faith and then take a little bit of action just to move forward so that you don't keep waiting and waiting and waiting. Okay. So if you're wondering whether singing is for you, whether you're called to be a singer, a performer, an actor, an artist, if you have that desire, start with building that faith, journaling a little bit, praying a little bit, and then take a little bit of action because otherwise you're going to keep waiting, waiting to feel more certain. And that feeling may or may not come without you first taking action. So, my question to you is what will you try first? What are you going to take action on first? What is your number? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Come over to my community. That could be your first step is connecting with me for free in our free community. It's a Facebook community at creativelybyestelle.com/community. It's also in the show notes below, but you can also just like type it in your browser, creativelybyestelle.com/studio, or no, /community, creativelybyestelle.com/community is where you can check out our free Facebook community. I'm there every week answering questions, chatting with you guys. I'd love to connect over there. And yeah, come over there and let that be your first step to just connect with your podcast voice coach, me, and also to connect with other singers in that space. That could be your first step. Or you can think of another first step, but you can go to the community page over there and post it so that I can keep you accountable, right? So just don't keep waiting for this certainty to come through. Instead, I really encourage you to walk in faith and take little steps of action and see what happens along the way. Okay, I'm cheering you on as always. You guys already know. If you want a voice teacher, if you want that first step to take less is to be taking voice lessons, I'm happy to work with you. I have some online voice lesson slots open for the rest of the summer. The fall is gonna be crazy, so I really don't know what those slots are gonna look like come August. But at least for July, I can tell you I do have slots open. So go to creativelybyestelle.com/studio. Creativelybyestelle.com/studio if you do want to book a slot to get a voice lesson in July. Okay. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so, so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the Performing Arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so, so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.